Welcome to a game between ATOSTIC here in blue, starting with gunships and an engineer commander. And he goes against Fine, who requests this replay. Fine wondered how ducks can interact with the opponent when the enemy can just build lotus turrets in quick time. And that can be an issue for ducks are relatively slow with only 90 speed, while gunship has pretty fast cons, like their speed is 72, and they also have 10 build powers. So yeah, if you just have radar and can see the incoming units, you can build a lotus turret in time. So that makes gunship starts quite viable actually, because you can build a con and expand with it, and it has a lot of health. And ducks don't have a lot of DPS, so yeah, they're pretty safe against those. Ducks struggle. Yeah, they only have like what is it like? Yeah, 65 DPS. So yeah, not much. Let's see how the blast wings are. You have and it was a decent hit. Yeah, ATOSTIC made decent cost there. Oh, and even he's burning these ducks, but they should survive, I think. So yeah, now Fine needs to build some more wind. That's gonna slow him down quite a bit. Meanwhile, ATOSTIC is being really greedy here with 2 cons. So yeah, I mean, that's an investment of 600 in expanding cons. So yeah, it's quite a bit. Yeah, so at this point you probably, yeah, like you probably want to like send out your ducks as fast as possible, yeah, so you forces the enemy to make defenses. This map has decently easy to defend mexes, like you make 1 or 2 lotus turrets, and ATOSTIC is being pretty safe about it. One of the disadvantages of the Ampbots is that their AA is really slow. So yeah, only 48 speed a seconds. Other factories here, you might be able. You would probably not have gotten that lotus turret, so that's kind of unlucky. You'll use 2 ducks. You're kind of low in health, and you don't get anything done. You force out an extra lotus turret, but yeah, that's not much. So yeah, you should really try to keep these ducks alive. 3 can probably take out lotus turret, but yeah, if a con is there, it can build up another lotus turret in time. So yeah, you should really be expecting where is the enemy expanding. You should try to expect and keep your attention there before the enemy is, so you don't run into lotus turrets and lose your ducks. I mean, once you're approaching a mex cluster like this, you should keep an eye on it so you don't run into lotus turrets and die. And you can retreat them more early. Yeah. So should you make AA? You probably need to make AA because even if it's slow, it's still kind of cheap, 180, and it extends the range of your ducks and deal some damage. Like the thing with Locust is that they have kind of low accelerations, so they're gonna struggle to get out of the range. They're gonna take a full volley, and then you have some ducks there also able to deal damage. But yeah, I think these locusts should be able to deal with these ducks pretty well. So yeah, you face this struggle of not being able to react here. And yeah, let's see. If we look here, yeah, he's starting to out-expand you. But yeah. I think archers can be, in most situations, a better choice than locust. I mean ducks, because they're gonna deal a bit more damage. Let's see here. So now you should be reacting. Yeah, you're reacting. And this should probably keep your base safe. Probably. Let's see here, 4 locusts. I think your ducks are gonna be able to get there in time and save this expansion, maybe. It's gonna be barely make it. At this point you could probably have stopped this conch from construction. So yeah. Yeah, the ducks. I guess that ATOSTIC managed to take out all of the expansion there before you could react in time. So yeah, you were a bit out of position. And you also lost quite a few ducks. But you see, ducks can deal with locusts fairly well. You're making some boys here to try to counter the enemy commander here, I guess. That's pretty good. Yeah, the enemy has already switched. Oh, you're scouting? Yeah, being able to scout when enemy transitions away from gunship is also kind of good and important. But yeah, at this point you're being out-ecoed quite a bit, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you set up a stinger here. That's pretty good against hovers. And you lose another archer here. You're hitting like the wrong timings. Like you just get there when ATOSTIC finishes his defense. Yeah. And are you gonna start accessing here? You're gonna start accessing a bit, quite a bit there. God damn it, this camera. Being a bit, trying to be a bit sneaky there, trying to get something done. Yeah. Yeah, so I'd say, yeah, it's a lot about premonition. I'd say, having if you have chosen a factor which has faster and cheaper A, like it's easier to handle gunships. I'd say. I think it's also about, yeah, creating radar slice. This is pretty good, so you can see the gunships incoming like this, and putting them here so you can see them incoming. Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge against gunships. Like, do you dare to push out, or because it's kind of risky to push out because you might just get. Is ATOSTIC really gonna take this fight? That will be bad for him. You should target the maces and put forward your commander. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, not a good attack from ATOSTIC, but he's quite far ahead here. And he's even going for a crowd there. Yeah. Finish off that little army. I hate this camera, is weird. Yeah. So yeah, boys are pretty decent, but if they run into the scalpels, they're not gonna be able to outrange it. So yeah, it's the same thing as most things really. If you're being chased by a scalpel, you get more range, and the scalpel can fire. But if you're trying to chase it down, yeah, the scalpel is gonna fire first. And here comes the first crow, and yeah, you have some units here. The boys could help to slow it down if you get some shots in, but you could also send the ducks there probably. But yeah, it's gonna be tight. You don't want to be underneath the crow when it goes up, so you could have been moving there to make a harder target to miss. But yeah, and the ducks probably wouldn't help. Probably too late. He also went for some upgrades there. I didn't see what upgrades he went for, but yeah, probably didn't seem to do much. Level 4 there. Yeah. So yeah, now you're. Yeah, now, yeah. I'd say. I mean, you should make some archers, some AA earlier, I think, is apt. 180 metal is not. It's not bad. It's not like. it's not a lot. Like if you push through the expansions, I mean, these expansions here are like pretty safe. They're pretty rear back, so it's kind of hard. But if you like make ducks and bring them off, make sure not to lose them against lotus turrets. Like the thing with like if we compare to other factories, amphibots are gonna struggle more than other factories because ducks are slow. They're gonna struggle to deal with lotus turrets and dealing damage against the con. The AA is slow. It has good range though, so it's probably worth making pretty early to like. If you get, for example, you get your ducks here a bit earlier, then you can prevent the con from just expanding here freely, and you can stop it like with 2 ducks. That should be able to do the trick, and then maybe bring up some more duck and trying to force the enemy to make some early locusts. And maybe once you have like 5-10 ducks, you can make a few anglers, the AA, and you bring them up like here for example, and then you can like scout ahead with ducks and try to prevent the gunships from building that AA, or maybe even bring it up here and then try to expand behind it. Should you use anglers in defense? Yeah, they're decent. Like if you have one here, you give some range to like intercept incoming unit here, and they can stay out of range here while your lotus turret deals with them. And if the enemy tries to go for your angler, yeah, you send some ducks and try to slow them down. So yeah, it can be a bit tricky. It's easier in other matchup when you have fast and cheap AA, and you can send a few AA early that's there fast and forces the enemy wasp, their cons, to just retreat because they're getting outranged. So yeah, it's a bit of a rough matchup on this map where the enemy has safe expansions behind their bases like this. So yeah. And since enemy gunships are faster than your ducks and your anglers, it's like, yeah, if you make too many, the enemy can just build some lotus turrets, and they can hide behind the lotus turrets, and they can transition into land. And if you make too much AA, it's a tricky thing to balance, I'd say. So, but yeah, make sure those first ducks are critical. If you can get there before the enemy expands to a location, you're gonna prevent them from expanding there, and they have to build extra lotus turrets, which slows them down, which gives you more time, forces them to make units. And if they're trying to kill your ducks behind their own trying to expand, then you can expand more freely and you have more room to expand. And yeah, it can all go downhill south for both of the players, really. But yeah, it's a tricky matchup. Good luck and have fun.